The other big news that we have this week, and personally, I don't want to say it's bigger news than, bringing this conflict in Iran to a close, but this is the thing I'm talking about, that if you did not watch this, you should go back and watch it. And that is, as we sit here recording this today, Kevin Warsh is leading his first Federal Reserve Open Committee meeting today, with the announcement and press conference tomorrow. So this, you guys, is where we're going to learn a lot. There's been a ton of speculation, from myself included, about what to expect from our new Fed chairman, and this is going to be our first meeting. I personally am pretty happy that it is going on the same week that it sounds like we have a resolution to this conflict, because it's going to give Kevin Warsh the ability to be a little more optimistic than he might have otherwise been. So we'll see how that goes. I'm very interested in the statement that's made at the end of that, so I would go back and watch or read that, and I'm very interested to get a sense of how he's going to handle the Q&A afterwards, right? It was widely expected that he's going to be maybe a little more tight-lipped, right? Maybe shorter Q&A, type of a session. So we'll see. What I expect, though, to see is, first of all, I don't think the Feds are going to change the overnight cost of funds. I do not expect a change at this meeting. So I think rates will stay exactly the same. And I think that's what's priced into the market. No one's expecting anything there. So any move by the Fed would be a surprise and would absolutely be a market mover. But I think what we might hear from Kevin Warsh is a little different take on how they're analyzing the market on a go-forward basis. I think he's going to be a little more creative. I think there's going to be maybe some areas of the economy that we never heard Jerome Powell talk about that we're going to have Kevin Warsh bring into the conversation a little bit. And my guess is he will use those factors to create a little bit of a better picture on why we might be able to lower rates sooner, right? So that would be the tone that we're looking for, especially those of us who want to see lower rates. Those of us in mortgage and real estate probably fall into that category. So it'll be interesting to see how he supports his ideas, and I think that they may be a little different than what Jerome Powell, matter of fact, I'm pretty convinced they're going to be different than what Jerome Powell leaned on as his kind of the why behind the decisions, and not so much the why, but the what we would need to see in order to do this in the future. I think you might see some different answers there, and that's why I encourage you to go back and watch that in its entirety. If you're watching this and you haven't seen it yet, I'd go back and, for yourself, just listen to the words that he says, understand it. Just getting the cliff notes from a news broadcast, in my opinion, if you're in this industry, is not enough. You should really get a feel for how this Fed is going to react now and into the future. I think that it's widely anticipated that with oil prices coming down, that the inflation that we've seen recently, dare I say, is transitory. Now, I'm going to be shocked if the new Fed chairman uses the word transitory, right? Because we all remember when Jerome Powell used that word, and that post-COVID, transitory inflation never went away. So it's kind of a bad word to be said, and I'd be shocked if he uses that term. But let's be honest. I mean, it is widely anticipated that the shock that we're seeing in inflation right now is transitory, is tied to the price of oil, and will be short-lived if nothing else.